A therapist once told me that there are two types of mindsets. There's the scientist and there's the artist. The scientist says there's a particular formula to how to do things. This is the formula. You do not break the formula. The formula is reliable until other evidence proves that it's not. Then there's the artist. The artist says, hey, these are the elements. We have this over here, we have this over here, and this over here. What can we create with them? Okay, we're missing that element. Well, maybe this element will replace it. If you think about baking, it's like, okay, well, I don't have lemon juice, but I have a lime over here. They're both acidic. Why don't we do that and we can make it work? You can see how this can apply to real life. The challenge with the artists, let's start with that, is that sometimes they're not as organized as they need to be because they assume that they can work it out in any situation. Yeah, I don't have this ingredient and that ingredient, but I can make it work. I can improvise. The beauty in that, if you apply it to life, is that the artist tends not to be as sad because they don't need to have things a certain way, and they feel like, from a level of confidence, perhaps overconfidence, that they can get out of every situation. The scientist, the scientist ends up having the challenge of there's a particular way to do things. I am missing this element, therefore it will not work. And there's a level of pessimism and cynicism that can come with that, because if things aren't lined up perfectly, then they can stop. Now, as you can probably tell, I'm an artist, that's kind of my vibe. But if you're in scientific mode and you see opportunities in front of you and they're not quite exactly what you're expecting, take the artist approach. Realize you might be able to make it work. In fact, it could be better than any formula that you've come up with. And if you think about it as a scientist, from scientific studies and scientific theory, people for a long time believed that the sun revolved around the earth and all these other details. Gravity didn't exist. They didn't know what gravity was. There had to be someone, probably an artist, to say, maybe we'll work with different elements. So where are you stuck right now? Where if you actually realized or recognized or even took a risk with the elements you currently have, you'd be able to get through that boundary. Food for thought.